I checked the city. I can't find her.
Babe, you checked the whole city?
Yeah. Look, we have to find her before DeVoe. Her life's on the line.
She had another gig this week. I doubt she'd skip town.
How would Dibney PI suggest we find her?
Well, since you asked, has anyone checked her website?
Has anyone checked her website? Dibs, of course we've checked her website. No one has checked her website? Iris!
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm looking now. Guys, she's still in town. I just picked up the first run of my next single, Love the Geniuses, at Saloon Sounds.
Good to see you, son.
You too.
Oh.
How's Blue Valley?
Oh. Self-reflection and the battle with a starfish from outer space gives you perspective.
So you found what you were looking for.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. If you didn't spot it during the episode, they had another callback to that Wall-E Teen Titans vs. Starro Easter egg earlier this season, with a whole bunch of other stuff on this page, but there's also a bunch of Titans-related stuff, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to include that in, because we found out who the Doom Patrol is going to be. So I'll explain them after I explain these Easter eggs here, but there is a new round of that Blast Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just leave a comment on the video. The text as she reads it here just says, "Howdy y'all, my Blue Valley show has been canceled due to some sort of starfish situation," but that adventure was part of this story called Titans of Tomorrow Today, where Starro had taken over a bunch of the Teen Titans from the future, which is basically like a Young Justice crossover. So you have Teen Titans versus Young Justice people from the future. So like Connor Kent had become Superman, Tim Drake had become Batman, Cassie had become the full version of Wonder Woman. They come back in time, they wind up fighting their younger versions of themselves, the actual Teen Titans roster. This was sort of post-Jeff Johns era when they sort of rebooted the Teen Titans and Young Justice comic books by kind of combining both of them. They got rid of the Young Justice comic book by killing off a character, and then a couple of those members joined the Teen Titans. But for the most part, that roster is not going to be the roster of the live-action Titans TV show, so I'll explain the Titan stuff. It's a little bit separate from this, but let it be known that all the DC TV shows have done stuff like this, where they have like a really cool Easter egg early in the season, then they keep referencing it later on.
This house is bitchin'.
You know, this house is, bitchin'.
Wow, this house is,
Bitchin'?
But there's also a track on her song list here that says Ode to Smashville. I almost thought it read Ode to Smallville, but obviously Smallville isn't anywhere on the tour dates here. So although there is a Smallville on Supergirl's Earth, Earth 38, we don't know about Smallville on Earth 1. So I wouldn't think too much about that until you actually see Smallville pop up on someone's screen somewhere, like either somebody says the name, but the reality is that most things that exist on the different Earths exist on Earth 1. So like there is a version of Supergirl, there's a version of Superman, Batman, like we've already gotten the Batman reference on Arrow this year, so it's all out there. But just based on the restrictions that the TV show writers have, they have to be really picky about the way they reference stuff like that. So getting into Titans TV show territory, they finished casting the Doom Patrol, and it looks like they might be around for most of the season. Like the episode that Jeff Johns teased was episode 5, it's called The Doom Patrol, and arguably that's going to be the one that introduces them, like, hey, who are all these new characters? But on their IMDb page, they're listed for 9 episodes. There's 13 episodes total in this season, so that would mean that they have to show up sometime at the end of episode 4. But there's only 4 members of the team. We don't know what their storyline is going to be, but I'm assuming whatever they're doing, it throws them into the path of the Titans, because Raven's arc is really the story that drives the show forward, like the Terror of Trigon story where he uses her as a conduit to come into our plane of existence. The thing is that's going to take a while, so obviously there's going to be a couple of other mysteries that'll intersect with that. So while they're worried about Trigon way off in the distance, you have all this other stuff going on. So I don't know if they're going to include any villains from the Doom Patrol comics, or if they're all just going to be Titans villains, because Doom Patrol has more of a James Bondish feel about it with the way that it writes its villains and its stories, like General Immortus, Brotherhood of Evil, which is obviously kind of like Spectre, The Brain, Monsieur Mallah. So we'll see about that. I wouldn't worry too much about those other characters because the show has already teased so many big ones, and that doesn't even include Hawk and Dove, which I think are around earlier in the season. But we have Elastigirl, Robot Man, Negative Man, and the Chief, who's the leader. So this clip actually does a pretty good job of explaining what their powers are, so I'll just play this really quick.
Chapter 1, Challenge of the Timeless Commander.
General Immortus mustn't get his evil hands on that alien ship. Execute Plan 3, Doom Patrol.
We're way ahead of you, Chief.
ship, hero!
Never! Get him, Neckman! Go, go, go!
You should have listened. If you and Negative Man are separated for more than 60 seconds, you die! Then only one hero will stand in my way. Where is that Elastigirl?
Hold tight, Robot Man. Weapon disabled. You okay, Robot Man?
Good as the day I was assembled, Toots. Now let's go stop old Sourpuss. 56 seconds. 57 seconds.
What a close call! Who are the Doom Patrol? Find out in Chapter 2.
So as you can see, Elastigirl's powers work a little bit like Ant-Man and the Wasp. She can grow, she can shrink. Robot Man is basically someone who's just had his brain transplanted into a robot's body. It'll be really interesting to see how the TV show deals with that. I think they're tending to opt for more comic book accuracy, so I'm assuming whatever he looks like, it will be fairly close to what he looks like in the comics. But Negative Man is basically somebody who got doused in radiation and it created this negative self, like a negative astral projection of himself that can do things, he can control it, but it itself doesn't have a consciousness. It's just sort of like an avatar that he wields like a finger puppet. But like the clip says, he can only use the ability for up to 60 seconds, otherwise they'll both die. Then the Chief is the person who put the team together. He's this genius that just sort of runs things from behind the scenes. Obviously Wheelchair, Professor X, but he doesn't have any special abilities. He's just super rich, super smart, with lots of cool gadgets. The 60s vibe of that animated short was mostly just meant to honor the original comics, but the team itself has changed a bit over the years. Grant Morrison did a really cool run, but obviously the bigger thing is that Beast Boy used to be a member of the team when he was Changeling, so that's sort of the connection to them.
The Doom Patrol are legends. You gotta have some good stories.
It was something I did once. I'm a Titan now. You're moving too slow.
He's acting strange, even for Beast Boy.
I think he's just worried. The Doom Patrol raised him. They're like his family.
So I'm hoping the way that they bring them on the show is that they're looking for Beast Boy's help with a problem that they're trying to solve. Then the Titans get involved because he's already bumped into them, because if they don't show up till the end of episode 4, I'm assuming that most of the Titans characters have already met each other by the end of that first or at least second episode. There's only 13 episodes total, so it's not like they're going to stretch this out the entire season. So whatever's going on with them probably has some crossover with the Church of Blood storyline, because Church of Blood leads to Trigon. They've already cast the Acolyte character. He's part of the Church of Blood. We know that Brother Blood is going to be a main character of the series. There's still a lot of questions about cast members, but they're in the middle of shooting episode 6 or episode 7 right now. The actor that plays Beast Boy was posting these behind-the-scenes clip of him doing voiceover for one of the episodes. I'm assuming probably episode 5 or 6, if they're filming episode 7 by now. But they're cooking along pretty good. They're not going to WonderCon. I'm assuming they're waiting till they finish all their episodes, and they'll go to Comic-Con this summer, and that's when we'll see footage for the first time. But we might get a teaser before then. The Titans Writers Room actually just started a Twitter account, and they're posting pretty frequently. So I think that they're just trying to get interest up, like, hey, we're getting ready to release some information. So there should be some big Titans news in the next month or so. But obviously there's a bunch of Marvel stuff that's dropping. There's the Deadpool TV series. So I'll try to stay on top of everything, but just leave all your video requests in the comments below. So no worries. I'll name the giveaway winner when I post my Arrow episode video. That'll probably be up early tomorrow morning. I don't think I'll be able to get it out by later tonight. So click here for that Flash Time trailer, and click here for that Avengers Infinity War prelude story. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.